Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today I thought we'd talk about morning and night routines. I know a lot of people are like gearing up to start filming them with the change in season, and it really kind of got me thinking because I've filmed a few morning and night routines myself, and I feel like they're always the same, and that got me thinking. So the more I thought about it, I kind of realized that there's a reason for that. So I'm a very routine person in general. Like, I tend to do the same thing. However, that is not always the case. When you really sit down and think about it, routines are meant to be something that's consistent and constant. And the truth is that is not always true. Morning and night routines, like, you have to be flexible. Things are constantly always changing. And they're not always going to be exactly the same, and you kind of need to learn to be flexible when those things happen. Because I'm such a routine person, and when something goes slightly off, it tends to affect me in a very negative manner. And so I've learned over the last few years, like, hey, you got to be more flexible with things and not let those kind of slight changes to your routine affect you. So the more I thought about morning and night routines, it's not that you don't want some sort of consistency in your life, but the way I've kind of looked at it when I started to analyze what I have for morning and night routines is that there's like non-negotiable things that you do. So I kind of looked at it and I was like, well, there are 5 things that I literally do every morning and 5 things I do literally every night, whether I'm home, on vacation, change in season. Like, those things are constant in those routines. Everything else might change, the time frame, the timeline, but there's certain things that are always happening every single time. So I thought I would just share that, like the 5 things that I do every morning and the 5 things I do at night, because it just doesn't make sense to film when honestly that's not true. Like, my mornings don't look that way every single day. There's just certain pieces that are consistent. So let's start with the morning routine. So the first thing that's always consistent in my morning routines is my Bible or my devotional. Usually it's my devotional. I tend to take it with me anywhere I go, vacations, friend's house if I'm staying the night, and home, or my Bible. Now, Bible is easier because I obviously have an app on my phone, so I can take that with me everywhere. But those are like a non-negotiable for me. I read them every single morning, and I don't care where I am or what I'm doing. That's consistent. The second thing is water. I drink a ton of water throughout the day, but I start the morning first thing with water. 1, to take my pills, but 2, to just simply rehydrate from the night of sleeping. And then kind of with that would be, well, it's not with it, but my second thing is I always like to have my morning coffee and I like to have breakfast. I'm not one of those people that can wait until like noon, 1 o'clock when other people start getting up. Like, I need my breakfast in the morning. Otherwise I get, I guess, hangry for a lack of better words. And honestly, I find that eating is what wakes me up. It's not even the coffee. I just like the taste of coffee, and I love warm coffee in the morning. I don't care what time of year it is, because it kind of soothes my throat when it's dry. So that would be that third part. The fourth thing is making my bed. You can ask my friends. We stay in a hotel. If we're on vacation, if I'm at my family's, I make my bed every single morning. There's something about that control of that piece and the cleaning up and organization aspect that makes me start my day on a clear note in a way. So that is something I do. I don't care where I am or what season I'm in. And the last thing, and this is especially true for work, but I do find that I do this even on my regular days off, is at least 15 minutes outside first thing in the morning, kind of as the sun is rising, because I typically wake up before that. Usually I have to go out because I gotta take the dog out, but there's something about being outside as the sun's rising. It wakes you up more, starts your day on the right foot to be outside in nature instead of constantly in the house. So I do this regardless of what it's freezing cold out, because the dog has got to go out anyway, but it's refreshing for me. And the second part would be night routines. So again, there are like 5 things that are consistent for me in my night routines. 1 is that I like to write out in a gratitude journal 5 things that I'm grateful for, feel blessed for from the day. It helps me end my day on a positive note leading into sleep, instead of dwelling on those negative things or the bad things that would happen that day, but to really hone in on those good things. So that's the first thing. And then 2, water, kind of like morning. I always refill my water to put it on my nightstand. So 1, if I get thirsty at night, I have water, but then it's there and ready to go in the morning when I got to take my pills. So that is a key thing. The third thing I do is I stretch before bed almost every single night. Being that I do work for like a call center, so I'm sitting for 8 to 9 hours in a chair daily, like an office chair on the phone, I have found that my back can be very sore very quickly and very easily. And so stretching at night before bed kind of helps prevent getting into that kind of back pain and having to go to the chiropractor as frequently. The fourth thing, and this is for myself, this is, I guess, my version of self-care and my way to relax my brain, my body at the end of the day. And I try to spend at least 1 hour watching TV. I don't care if it's a movie, a show, YouTube videos. Like, I need that 1 hour just to kind of decompress and shut my brain off from the day, and kind of helps me let go of anything that may have occurred. And then kind of with that, and sometimes these go hand in hand, it is imperative for me and my night routine that I am in bed at least an hour to 45 minutes before it's time for me to go to sleep, or when I need to go to sleep. Because if I get into bed, my brain will not shut off when it's time to go to sleep. And if I can get into bed, watch a movie or something in bed, usually it's a movie that I've watched like a million times, so it's not something I feel like I have to pay attention to or constantly be focused on. It just helps me to kind of relax, shut my brain off so I stop thinking, and then I can literally fall asleep within probably 45 minutes. Usually I take my glasses off and I'm out at that point. I need my hour earlier to kind of decompress my emotions, that kind of stuff. And then when I get into bed, it's more about just shutting my brain down before sleep. If I get into bed and don't do that, forget it. I will try to go to sleep. I, 1, won't fall asleep, and 2, my brain is going a million miles per minute, which makes it very hard to fall asleep. So I just thought I would share this in this manner because I feel like I see those night routines, morning routines pop up all the time. And I'm guilty of watching them too. I'm always curious to see what people do, but it's just, and you know, some people say they're realistic, or this is my vacation routine, or this is my seasonal. And I'm like, in all reality, I mean, yes, your routine's going to change all the time. That's constant. But what are the things that are important to you that you do in a consistent manner, morning and night? And that's why I chose to sit down and focus on what are the 5 things I do morning and night. So just thought I would share. Maybe it makes you think about your routines, or maybe helps you to think of a routine in a different way and develop those things that are important to you in the morning or at night. And that's pretty much all this video is going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I hope everybody has a blessed day.